one of the things, Jonathan, I think is really critical for the people reviewing this to know is, can you talk a little bit about your background and how you
Yeah,
got started and how you got involved in this?
that's a great question too. And again, Cody, thank you so much for the opportunity. Just excited to be here today. For me, I have been sourcing for about a decade now too. So I started around 2011 and really just focusing on tech recruiting. And yeah, I know diversity has always been an important kind of topic. And kind of from my kind of journey, I really felt that there wasn't really a lot of diversity sourcing books online. So there's really not a lot. If you search Amazon or Barnes and Noble, maybe there's 2 or 3 books that kind of do like a high level overview, but none really focus on Boolean strings, talent sourcing tools, different tricks of the trade, different communities online. So really, I really felt like it was a great thing for me to kind of maybe focus on and kind of build out a book kind of in this area too. So, so that's kind of the reasoning why I decided to kind of write a book in relation to kind of diversity sourcing. There just wasn't that many books available to as well, and there's so many different tricks and tools and hacks that you can do online to find talent. And I wanted to kind of compile a list within one book.
Yeah, no, that's great. And there's so many different resources that are out there that people have to kind of stitch together. So it's really great that you brought everything together
Right.
in this one book that people can go to. Information changes all the time, and I know that you've got other books that are out there, and you do a good job of staying abreast of what's happening in the industry. So I'm really thrilled that you're gonna bring something to the table for the group here. And there's some questions. I'll probably be asking you some additional questions as we go through and cover some of the information on things that people have talked to me about in some of the workshops that I deliver. And I think you'll probably have either a better answer or really fill in some of the gaps that I've left out, because you truly are a sourcing expert in the space.
I appreciate that too. And then, kind of on top of that, I started a blog called wizardsourcer.com. And I started that in 2015, really focused on talent sourcing tools. So I'll definitely cover some resources on my blog too as well, and kind of go over that during kind of my presentation today. And yeah, just really excited to kind of showcase different examples and tricks that I've used in my day-to-day duties. And yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I know you've got some slides that you're going to be sharing. We may bring the slides up and down depending on how everything is flowing, and we're just
We'll
going
just
to
go.
roll with this. And this is just we got our sleeves rolled up, man, and we're just going to have some fun with it. And I know that the people reviewing this are going to get a lot out of this. And so
Yep.
thank you very much. So, without any additional fanfare for me, let's let you take it over.
All right, Cody, thank you so much. And hopefully everyone can see my screen here as well. But really,
Let me get you
again,
to share let me get you
yeah,
to share your screen.
can
I'm
I,
not seeing it on my side.
okay, let's share screen.
Don't you love the technology challenges that we always
Oh,
have all the
all right.
time?
Can you, right. Can you see my screen now too as well? I don't know if you
Let me
can,
make sure that I've got
does it
my,
pop up maybe?
let me just make sure that my pop-up hadn't moved over somewhere. Yep, we got you.
All right, great. Well, again, a little about me. I have been a sourcer for about 10 years, and currently I'm a sourcer at Amazon. And really focus on backend developers. That's kind of the core of what I support and kind of source for every single day. And kind of my orgs are ops tech and middle mile. And yeah, I've been there for about 2.5 years, and it's been a great experience thus far as well. And then kind of on top of that, I was ranked top 10 sources in the world back in 2014. So that's really how I got my start, kind of presenting and being part of the kind of community too as well. And then in 2019, I was recognized as a top recruiting leader by Hung Lee, and he's got a newsletter definitely that I would recommend getting or kind of subscribing to, called Recruiting Brain Food. So it's definitely a great newsletter out there.
Awesome.
And yeah, last year alone, I presented at around 12 different recruiting tech conferences. So that included SourceCon, HR Tech, Sourcing Summit, and many others too as well. So, but definitely excited to be presenting today as well with you, Cody.
Yeah,
And then on top of that, I've got 4 published recruiting books. And so my first one was about LinkedIn, just how to create a profile, how to network and find jobs. And then the others have been related to kind of tech sourcing tools. And then really today I'm going to focus on my book, A Guide to Diversity Talent Sourcing, available on Amazon too as well.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, the one thing is, I think just in that introduction, people are going to get a chance to. I mean, these are resources that are really valuable. I've looked at most of these and really can see the work that you've done over the years, just kind of moving it forward. So, thank you very much.
Oh, great. And kind of on top of that, I founded a blog called wizardsourcer.com. And really, the focus has been just to kind of support talent sources, recruiters with kind of the latest sourcing trends in our community as well. And I've got a ton of great resources that are free on my site. So definitely recommend taking a look at this site here. Under the resource tab, I've listed out really kind of some really important talent sourcing tools in different areas. So automation, Boolean string generators, contact finding tools, email generation tools. The list goes on too as well. So really a ton of great resources. You could download kind of a CVS file of the full list here. And on top of that, I've listed out a ton of different Boolean string examples. So operators, modifiers, how to kind of search, how to X-ray search, lots of great examples in relation to kind of resume strings, finding conference information, just a ton of great kind of string examples here. And then on top of that, how to X-ray many different types of sites. So Craigslist to About Me to Facebook to of course LinkedIn and many others here. And then I've included a ton of different tech strings. So if you're kind of new to kind of tech recruiting or just kind of recruiting in general, I've listed out a ton of great string examples here to kind of digest here and kind of review. So just a lot of in-depth information on my website. So definitely recommend, reviewing the site here and
Excellent.
under my kind of resource tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then really today I've kind of created kind of a checklist. So really, what are we going to cover today? So how to communicate appropriately online to these communities, how to find diverse communities online, sourcing tools, diversity Boolean strings, data mapping, analytical tools, how to optimize your job descriptions, and then how to kind of do outreach to these groups of people. So overall, hopefully you guys can learn something today with all the different suggestions that I can kind of walk through too as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think it's going to be powerful.
It's going to be good. And then on top of that, I created my own actually Google Chrome extension called Recruiter Wand. And currently we have around 1,000 active users. So it's a great extension that you can download for free. First, you would go to just Google Chrome and download the extension. Make sure you're using, of course, a Chrome browser. And once you download this extension, you would go to LinkedIn, and it allows you to auto-populate information on someone's profile page. So, for example, if you kind of go to just any sort of profile page, any public profile page of a lead, you would then click the extension, and then you could get the data, and right away it would scrape kind of all this information on the profile, and it's not loading. Oh, here it is. So some information might not scrape correctly, but you just copy and change that up, and then from there you could choose kind of the template that you want to use. So I've added around 25 plus different templates that I've used throughout my career, and really it just kind of it changes this information too as well. So it pulls in the first name, company name, education, skill set, and kind of location too as well. So sometimes it doesn't load that well, but basically you would change all this information. You would choose a template that you want to use, and then you could copy the templates. So overall, it's a great kind of free extension tool. If you're kind of sourcing, kind of reaching out or following up with candidates, it's kind of a little nice extension to kind of have. If you've got the same templates that you're using every day, but you're only changing kind of the name and skill sets and education stuff. Um, those things can be kind of auto-populated in on kind of a profile too as well. So overall, it's a great extension. I've had a lot of great feedback on it so far. So, but definitely recommend downloading that one today.